Nope. Tampoco. This is ours. Dame chaparrita. I'm about to go back in time. I was like 6 when I
Slide all the way down towards your left-hand side. Place all of your belongings right in front of you, and also stay with your party.
How old was I? Huh? How old was I when I came on here? 6. Yo he traído a los 6, a los 8, a los 10.
That's Santi's on the warning. As we say here in Harambe, Chunde, that means let's go. So jumbo everyone, my name is Bree and I'll be your safari guide for the next 2 weeks here on the Harambe Wildlife Preserve. If we take a look above you, you'll see an animal spotting guide that will help you easily identify the animals that we'll see here out on the reserve. I only have 2 rules on this truck. Rule number 1, please remain seated throughout your entire trip. Por favor, quedes sentados and ficar sentado. Now rule 2, please no catcalling to any of these animals. So no kissing noises, whistling noises, or the sound. Since we're entering their homes and the animals here are endangered, we just want to be as respectful as we can. As long as you guys follow those 2 rules, we'll have a pretty great time out here. First area that we're now in is called the Little Ituri Forest, where most of the animals here are on the shy and reclusive side. But not the okapis, over on the right. The okapi is the one that looks like a half zebra, but they're not related to the zebra at all. They are the only known relative to the giraffe, since they have a very similar skull structure, but they were considered a myth out in the wild until they were discovered back in 1901 by Western civilization. Now there's a couple more over here on the left. Those are bongo, just like the percussion instruments. And they'll use those horns to get a really thick and rough underbrush to hide from any predators. And they're also known as the ghosts of the forest, since they're rarely ever seen out in the wild. Now, I did say a lot of them are shy and reclusive, but I see a couple more animals on the right. First one looks like a very large deer, but it's a forest type of antelope called the greater kudu, and that's a female greater kudu. Male kudus have horns, and their horns spiral backwards like curly fries. Now, those birds with the black and white feathers, saddle-billed stork. Now, not the tallest, but they can be as tall as 5 feet with a wingspan of 9 feet long. And then coming up on the left is the black rhino. Black rhinos weigh up to 3,000 pounds. They're much smaller than the white rhinos, and they prefer to live in solitary, so by themselves. But they are being poached each and every single day for their horns. Their horns are known to have these magical healing powers, but that is not true at all. The only thing that those horns contain is keratin, which is found in your fingernails and hair. So there are only about 5,000 of them left in the world, but that number decreasing each and every single day, which is quite sad. I don't think there's any more around this corner. No, it's okay. We're going to continue moving forward. There's still plenty to see out there. The Harambe Wildlife Preserve is around 800 acres wide. It's filled with a variety of ecosystems and amazing African features. So the next ecosystem that we're heading into is called the Safi River. That's home to a lot of aquatic animals. So let's see if there's any of them within the water or outside of it. Well, there's lots of vultures, but we're not really here for them. My friends on the right have a better advantage than I do, really looking within the water. Okay, and if we don't, we'll go ahead and check the left-hand side. Ooh, oh my goodness. Did any of y'all see that? Did any of y'all see that? That was so cool. That was the hippo. And hippos are nocturnal animals. They spend most of their days submerged underwater to prevent any overheating, so they are much more active at night. Here, let's switch up a little more. I see another one playing, and that's actually the baby hippo. Oh, and then there's a fully grown hippo that's in the water. What? Oh my goodness. There's a lot going on right now. Now, this is kind of a sight to see. They only come out of the water to eat from around. But again, like I said, they're nocturnal, so they spend the majority of it inside. And they're all very good swimmers, but they prefer to walk along the bottom of the water, and they can hold their breaths up to 8 minutes long. And if they stay out in the sun for too long, their skin will start to turn red. And no, it's not a sunburn, it's an ooze that will smear out of its skin. And that ooze will act as a great cover and also as a natural sunblock. I wish you could stay, but we had to keep going. There's still lots to see out there. But that was really cool. I hope, did any of you see him come out of the water? That was amazing. It was awesome. It was really cool. Okay, we're about to cross over Crocodile Bridge. Ooh, another hippo. But another reminder to stay seated. But look towards your left and you'll see a group of Nile crocodiles. They're about 16 feet long and they can weigh up to 500 pounds. All of their main source of food is fish. They're known to attack and consume any creature that's twice its size that comes along the path. They only eat once a week, but they can go up to months and months without having a single meal. And that's because they have a very slow digestive system, especially throughout the colder season. So as we leave the South River, we're going to make our way into the savannah. And the savannah is home to a lot of famous animals, like the lions, giraffes, and elephants. So hopefully we can see all of the animals and more as we go throughout the next part of the reserve, which is the largest, by the way.
Yay!
Before we head into the savannah, take a look towards your right hand side. You'll see a funny looking tree, and that is called the baobab tree. And the baobab tree can remain leafless up to 9 months out of the year to help it conserve water, and it will store all of that water within its trunk. Now, one really cool thing that elephants like to do with those trees, they'll puncture holes into them by using their tusks, and they'll drink the water that's stored inside. It's a great way for elephants to stay hydrated. Okay, so we're going to go all the way up and all the way down the entire savannah just to make sure that we don't miss any of these animals. And the closer that we get to them, the more I'll tell you all about them. Like the first ones on the right, they're kind of hiding behind all those broken logs. And collie cattle, and they are the only domesticated animal here on the reserve. Now those horns, they look extremely heavy, but they're not. Inside of those horns is just a honeycomb-like structure where blood will circulate all throughout it to help it regulate its body temperature. There's another one coming up on the right. They're also seen as a form of currency to the Maasai people. The more collie cattle that the Maasai people have, the wealthier they are. They're also known as the Watusi cattle, named after the tribe that discovered them, the Watusi tribe. Okay. They're all kind of scattered on the left. Near the tree, left-hand side, there's some up near like the really big rock. There's one, yeah, there's a broken branch. They're African wild dogs, also known as the painted dogs. Let's see if there are any more that are nearby. Yeah, they're all kind of sleeping. I think they're doing this nice weather. So they do look a little similar to domestic dogs, like the ones you guys have at home, but they're very different. Instead of wolf finger barking, we'll make a high-pitched chirping sound to communicate with one another. So they kind of sound like a mixture of a bird and a squeaky toy at the same time. That's the best way I can describe it. They're also a very...
you guys hear any banshees? That wasn't a banshee. Not a banshee. That guy. You hear any banshees? Nothing. What do you think we should do? Louder. Okay, everybody, bring it up again. One more time. All right, now repeat after me. Say banshee, 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 banshee. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa! Bring it down, listen. The banshees have heard you, and they responded with your calls. This is amazing. You're all amazing. Yeah. That guy, huh? Amazing. Yeah. In fact, you are all now official Pandora drummers. Congratulations. Oh, now wait a minute. Wait. Did everybody have a good time?
Yes!
No. Wait a minute. Pandora drummers. We said, did everybody have a good time?
Yeah!
Thank you for joining us at Slow 2YA. Please take this experience with you as you enjoy Pandora. Key Have a great night. Rock on, that guy.
¡Qué bacán! ¡Salud! You need to make it tighter. Oye, está vacía esta vaina, está chévere. Así sí me encanta. I think it's gonna fill up like around 2. Cuando caliente más, Eva se va a meter. What's the temperature right now? No sé. Chévere. Qué bacán. I can swim underwater. Huh? I want to see how far I can swim underwater. Where's the straw? Ah, qué bacán. Acaba de pasar uno de ahí, mira, de donde nos tiramos. That ride right there is crazy. Gives me anxiety. Yo me voy a... I'm gonna go See if I can do the fish here.
Aquí te saca la nariz.
Más allá, papi.
Mi chaparrita. Está mi chaparrita. Ahora sí, echamos aquí.
I'm Bob Buchanan, and this is Fear Factor. The stunts you're about to see were designed and supervised by trained professionals. They are extremely dangerous and should never be attempted by anyone, anywhere, anytime. Welcome to Fear Factor Live! Hi everybody, I'm your host, Bob Buchanan. On behalf of our producer, Lauren, and the entire crew, we'd like to welcome you to the special live edition of Fear Factor. Now earlier today, we recruited some bar guests, people just like you who will soon face their worst fears as they perform dangerous and nasty stunts live. Let me ask you something, are you guys ready to meet up? Alright, let's make some noise for your contestants, because here they are. Let's give it up for Hunter, Lance, Mike, Sway, Katie, and Nicholas. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your contestants! The six of you have been chosen for one reason: to prove that fear is not a factor for you as you compete for prizes and a chance to win this edition of Fear Factor Live. In order to win, you'll have to complete 3 extreme stunts that will not only test you physically, but mentally as well. If you're too afraid to attempt a stunt, you're eliminated. Try a stunt, fail to complete it, you're gone. But if you succeed, you move on to the next round. You're that much closer to claiming the winner's bragging rights of Fear Factor Live. Sound pretty good? Alright, head up those staircases, we'll get you set for your first stunt. While they're getting ready, let's take a look at some interviews we shot before the show and hear what they had to say.
My name is Mike from Maple Grove, Minnesota. I'm gonna win because this is what I do.
Hi, my name is Sway. I'm from Woodbridge, Virginia, and I'm gonna win because I've never done anything like this before, so I'm always gonna just put in my best effort and stuff like this.
My name is Lance. I'm from College Station, Texas, and I'm going to win because I'm a paratrooper.
My name's Hunter, and I'm gonna win because I got all the heart in the world.
I'm Katie from Chicago, Illinois, and I'm here to meet all the guys.
My name is Nicholas. I'm from Kingdom, Virginia, and I'm a member that have full confidence in myself.
That's how our contestants sounded before the show. I wonder how they're feeling right now. Just to remind everyone what they're in for, let's take a look at some highlights from the hit NBC series, Fear Factor. We're good to go. Let's get it started.
Contestants, can you hear me? Right now you're set for your first stunt. This is called the endurance hang. You'll be holding onto a bar and suspended by one thin cable. You gotta hold on tight to that bar because when I say go, the bottom drops out. You'll be left dangling high above the unforgiving ground below. Remember, the 4 of you that hang on longest move on to the next round. First 2 of you to drop will be going home, but whoever hangs on the longest will gain the advantage of picking their partner for our second stunt. Oh, by the way,
There's one more thing.
That's my first volunteer, Mason. Give it up for Mason, everybody. Now 15 seconds. Mason's gonna push this lever, turning on the industrial fans, blasting our contestants with some very serious wind. Is it dangerous? Not necessarily. Is it annoying? Definitely.
contestants, are you ready? I suggest you hold on, get a good grip on that bar. Okay, looks pretty good. Let's bring the fear in. 3, 2, 1, go! Platforms drop, here we go. Pretty good start up there. Everybody had a pretty good grip on that bar. They also put their feet up on the platform so they weren't surprised. But speaking of surprises, we're 15 seconds.
And here comes the wind. Bring it, Mason.
Now the wind is going to blast them in the face and messes with their concentration a little bit. Sway's hands are definitely lopsided over there. That's not going to help him out. He's going to try to fight it back, but he's losing his grip when he's out there. Down by 1. Only looking for 4 semi-finalists. Everybody else holding pretty strong. Little bit of space open up on Hunter's hands as well as Nicholas right there. Lance and Mike trying to hold strong. Katie hasn't moved at all. She's trying to stay as still as possible. 45 seconds in. Any kind of movement is going to cause those hands to shake just a little bit. Once they start sliding down the end of that bar, there is not much you can do. Nicholas is already shaking his head right over here. We're coming up on the 1 minute mark. Hunter's got a little bit more space there, but it looks like Mike is starting to lose his grip. But Nicholas is out of there. We got our 4 semi-finalists. Who
La
is
chica,
going
mira la
to
chica.
Hunter, let's go. 10 seconds, they're battling out. Lance is out there, back and forth. We're heading for the before our winner, Katie. Just so close. That was a great time out there. 1 minute, 15 seconds. Let's get a big round of applause for all of our competitors. Down to the wire. Great job out there. Keep your applause going for Sway, everybody. Come on, show some love. And then Nicholas, come on over here as well on this side. Sway, you gave it a real good shot, man. What happened?
I did, but I started getting nervous and my hands just got real sweaty.
It happens like that. Now, you said you were nervous. Was it the height or all these people?
Oh no, just of losing.
Just of losing. Well, got some bad news for you. Nicholas, you gave it a real good fight too, man.
Yeah, my hands got really sweaty.
Sweaty as well. From fatigue, or were you starting to get a little jittery up there?
Yeah, I'm scared.
Scared? The height of the people?
Scared of heights.
Okay, well, it happens like that. I get it. Did you know you had a fear of heights?
I
Yeah?
just want to try it out.
But, well, I mean, that's great. That's what we're all about. You took a step to conquering that fear. You feel good about it?
I feel great.
Excellent. You're going to continue taking steps down the walk of shame. All right, people, do me a favor. Keep your applause going. Let's give it up for Hunter, Lance, Mike, and Katie. Katie, take a step forward. Great job up there.
Thank you.
I'm not kidding you at all. You held on just a fraction of a second longer than Mike up there. That was good. About what's going through your head?
Just trying to hang on as long as I could.
It's a good strategy. Now, you have an important decision to make. You get to pick your partner for this next stunt. But you got to choose carefully because if you win, you're going to go head-to-head in the final. So who's it going to be? Bachelor number 1, Bachelor number 2, or Bachelor number 3? What do you say?
I think I'm gonna go with number 3.
Number 3. Any particular reason?
He's my boyfriend.
So, Mike, Lance, on the other team, all 4 of you head out that way with Dave. He'll get you set up. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for your 4 semi-finalists.